with SOAS International Business Management with the University of London. I hope none is our. She has also completed short-term diploma and certificates in various areas such as labor law, compliance management, youth development with the University of Cape Town, University of Stellenbosch Business School, as well as University of Western Cape. So she has completed all the universities in the Western Cape and also in KwaZulu-Natal. Dr. Nkabane is a lifelong learner who is also currently studying towards a master's degree in the field of energy leadership with Wits Business School. She has contributed to the Board of Knowledge with 2 academic papers in the Journal of Public Affairs, as well as a book chapter in Sabela Abide and Emmanuel Matombo on a topic, xenophobia, nativism, and Pan-Africanism in the 21st century Africa. She has so far marked 1 master's dissertation and reviewed 2 academic papers. Dr. Nkabane is passionate about the youth, their development and potential in shaping the future of South Africa, both in education and in the workplace. With those few words, let me ask the TG to formally and youthfully welcome our Honorable Minister, TG.
Nkabane re o rata kaofela re tsamaya le wena he molo molo Nkabane re o rata kaofela re tsamaya le wena he molo molo He barindia dia he mulu he mulu mulu he mulu mulu he barindia dia he mulu he mulu mulu he mulu mulu Yebezane fire brigade, Yewole lulu. Yebezane fire brigade, Yewole lulu. Haigoya sha isafita, isafita. Haigoya sha isafita. Isafita, Ebezene fire brigade, Womle lulu, Ebezene fire brigade, La womle lulu, Uyasha, Uyasha. Manda, way 2, forward with Minister Nkabane, forward with Minister Nkabane, forward with Safeta, forward. Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much. Others are not going to see me. I don't know what should I do. The DG is not going to see me. Shotgun. It's nice to be here. It's cool to be an artisan of the 21st century. It's cool. Uzoyithola kanjani? Uhlele khona yini? Uzoyithola kanjani? Ungaye TVET, ungaye TVET. TVET College, Skill the Nation. You say Skill the Nation when I say TVET College. TVET College, TVET College, unlock potential. I'm going to teach you 3 things. Huh? When I say TVET College, Skill the Nation. TVET College unlocks potential. TVET College empowers young people. Nebo? Noba ndingekho ku president yakho ke leyo. Ndiyakupha yona ne? TVET College. TVET College. TVET College. Mandla. Awethu. Forward with Safeta, forward. Forward with Sakpo, forward. Forward with, I can't remember this one of Comrade Zondi and Ed. Forward. Thank you so much, Program Director. Let me recognize the Acting Director General of the Department of Higher Education and Training, Mr. Sam Zungu. The President of the South African Technical and Vocational Education and Training Student Association, as led by my sister here, Gaugelo Choke. The Secretary General of the South African Technical and Vocational Education and Training Student Association, as led by my brother here, Mr. Wongani Mkwali. The Buffalo City TVET College Principal, Mr. Jack Tema. The Acting Regional Manager, Mr. Richard Mediro. Team DHET is led by the Acting Director General of the Department, Mr. Zungu. I'm told NSFAS officials are here as well as Higher Health. The representatives of our SETAs who are present here today, the President and the Secretary General of the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Colleges Governance Council, it's TVET CGC, Mr. Kanyile Zondi, Mr. Kanyile and Mr. Zondi. Mr. Kanyile, I'm told, is from one of the constituencies that I'm redeployed to here in the Eastern Cape. And Mr. Zondi is my homeboy. We are coming from the same province. In KwaZulu-Natal. The President of College Sports, Arts and Culture South Africa, COSAXA, Mr. Aubrey Mbosula, the college principal present here, all of them, the Student Support Services Managers present here, Student Representative Council members present here today. Ngokukhethekileyo mandizibulisele kubafundi bonke baseMzantsi Afrika bakhoyo namhlanje apha. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, ndiyanibulisa ngentsasa, ndithi molweni. Before I commence with the speech, I would appreciate all of us to stand and observe a moment of silence to honor the life of those who have fallen. And one of the longest serving principals in TVET College sector, Miss Happy Mavis Sibande from Eguruleni East TVET College, who has departed to be with the Lord this morning. May we all rise. May her soul rest in peace. You may be seated. It is a humbling moment for me to be invited to this important gathering private sector. I have had opportunities to engage with the national leadership of student representative councils of this very important sector of the post-school education and training system, the technical and vocational education and training college sector. The fact that I am able to address student representative councils of all our TVET colleges is not a matter that I take lightly, and I want to thank the President of SAFETA and her collective student leadership for for extending the invitation to me. I'm one person who have an open door policy. Do you know, maybe I don't want to honor their invitations. The president just called me directly to say, but Minister, you cannot honor our invitation. I'm a woman, I'm leading here. You are a woman. I need your support. Just come and show up. And I do that exactly. When something is not going well in the sector again, your Secretary General, Minister were not of ABC, and immediately sense from them, I action them immediately. So we have that kind of an open relationship and a programmatic relation with them. It's not that we're friends. We have a very progressive, programmatic relations with SAFETA. Timandibulele galondlela siphathene ngayo. President, the ministry envisaged that South African Technical and Vocational Education and Training Association should serve as a strong representative voice of students and play an active role towards improving the image of the sector with student performance towards shifting perceptions about the quality of technical and vocational education and training sector. Hence, we ask that when the year starts, all our students from basic education, they just flock to universities. We don't see those queues in our TVET colleges. You know why? It's because we are not showcasing the potential of our TVET colleges. We are not showcasing what our TVETs can offer. We have a collective responsibility, all of us, showcase what our TVETs can offer. I'm speaking to leaders today. We execute our constitutional to make sure TVET become attractive, because it is proven at the German, the Chinese, the Japanese, and Austrian model that they managed to turn around their economies through investing in TVET colleges. So here in South Africa is part of us repositioning TVET, re-engineering our education system, and rethinking the future of the education system in South Africa. We need to make sure that we position our TVETs as well to play a critical role in turning around the tides. So more than this, SAFETA should be in a position to articulate the needs, capabilities, and be accessible to the TVET student population. I must say that the current leadership has been doing very well in addressing student issues, concerns, and frustrations, and also sharing that with the ministry. Your robust yet matured leadership is assured of fullest support by both the department as well as the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, the training of student leaders impact on the prospects of their success even after receiving the college for other destinations, such as the world of work, further learning, or even self-employment. The hosting of these programs is critical as they provide student leaders, the intended beneficiaries of this initiative, with a platform to share their lived experiences in an effort to improve the teaching and learning programs. It capacitates also the leaders of these institutions to understand what is it that is expected of them so that they execute their responsibilities with distinction. The provision of ongoing capacity building programs is becoming fully entrenched in the TVET sector, and the return of this critical investment is there for everyone to see as we see it today. Indeed, the quality of student leadership has remarkably improved over the recent past, and thanks to the unwavering support from the TVET college managers who are working day and night to make sure that the needs of our students are indeed met. President, as well as delegates, this induction today allows us as the department, SAFETA and college SRCs to reflect on the importance of governance. In essence, in our context, the importance of the role that each party must play in coordinating and capacitating student leaders within our TVET sector. This induction program is a brainchild of the 2018 Student Support Services Conference, which mandated the department and TVET colleges to develop a standardized continuous capacity building program for student leaders. Let's thank my predecessor, Minister Blade Nzimande, for affirming this, that it should be an ongoing program. The convention is that this standardized continuous capacity building program must ideally start with an induction program for newly elected student leaders. In the next 3 days, student leaders from all TVET colleges will be dealing with critical matters that shape the post-school education and training program. I understand that you started on Wednesday when I was supposed to join the program. Unfortunately, it coincided with the cabinet. I had to attend the cabinet, then after that, come and join you this side. Even today, there's a portfolio committee, but I could see that there's no way I can disappoint and not come, but I've tendered my apology. I think I must register that because I know media can create things that do not even exist. I've communicated this before, and I want to reiterate it again. The Minister of Higher Education and Training is committed to the repositioning of the TVET colleges and placing them at the center of our developmental agenda. We're investing in infrastructure, curriculum renewal, lecture development, and student support services. However, infrastructure alone cannot solve all the challenges that we're facing. We need everyone, we need the entire value chain to make sure that we reposition our TVET colleges to respond to the needs of our economy. We need a collective commitment from government, from the industry, from business, civil society, and the young people of this country to ignite a skills revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased with the non-negotiable position of SAFETA on the 50-50 gender parity. I was happy to learn that on Wednesday, the 16th of July, 2025, SAFETA held a structured Women in Leadership Capacity Building Program for female student leaders in the TVET colleges who are in majority in the SRCs, and this is also representative of the student population with female learners in majority. I hope those who are senior than others have managed to identify some of the mentees within the cohort of young women who are in leadership this time around, because we have a responsibility to multiply. You must not be proud that you are shining alone. Make sure that you pull others with you so that you grow and thrive together. As a sector, we must applaud SAFETA for having a clear position on this matter, and President, I am further encouraged by the stance of SAFETA on matters related to GBV, particular sexual violence, which is a serious challenge on some of our college campuses. The SG here spoke about away with cheating boyfriends away. You know, when we speak about GBV and femicide, we tend to overlook some of the critical issues that we need to look at. For instance, you can abuse me emotionally as a woman. You can humiliate me as a woman. But when we speak about GBV and femicide, we don't look at those issues. Because others, they end up committing suicide because they are emotionally destroyed by their partners. So it's some of the issues that we need to look at. I'm happy that Higher Health, in terms of emotional intelligence, they are also covering that aspect in their curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, our institutions should work together with student leaders in developing and implementing new policies and procedures that are aimed to better address sexual misconduct, intimidation, violence, and promote programs that will reduce gender-based violence in our campuses. SAFETA should always be at the forefront of tackling gender-based violence on college campuses. The start of 2025 academic year had some challenges and some tough decisions had to be made regarding some NSFAS processes. I did not hear the SG speaking about 46% increase in student allowances. I did not see them celebrating. I did not see them welcoming that increment, but it's fine. We'll grow as we learn and learn as we grow. However, I am pleased with the level of maturity that is shown by both the leadership of SAFETA and College Student Representative Council throughout this journey. I'm 1 year now because I was appointed on the 3rd of July last year. And the sad part is that when you enter into a sector that you are not exposed to, I'm telling you, you are told by somebody who have experienced it. It takes a year for you to understand a sector. Whereas a sector which is huge like DHET with 26 universities, 100 and something private universities, with 50 TVET colleges, with 9 city colleges. It's huge, and 21 sitters. It's huge. And then there's QCTO, there's CHE, there's NSFAS, there's NSF. It's huge. So it takes about a year for you to settle and understand the sector. So everyone who can be in this position can make mistakes, rest assured. But it's good when you are a leader, you see that you have made mistakes, then you self-correct, which is how we grow. I must state that in the main, we did not experience uncontrollable student unrest and violent protests in the TVET space. And various leaders in the PCS system have in the past all commended the excellent and exemplary leadership provided by student leaders in the sector. Keep up the good work that you are doing in the space. Program Director, I cannot conclude without expressing my gratitude to the Acting Director General, Mr. Sam Zungu, the officials of the department, the Buffalo City TVET College, the representative from COSAXA. I'm still owing you a celebration. I said to DDG Zungu, we need to celebrate Orbit College. So I'm still waiting for him to give me a date. Don't think the minister is undermining you or not taking your issues serious. If it doesn't happen, don't blame me. You must blame DDG Zungu. We need also to express our gratitude to SAPCO and TVET CGC and all other stakeholders who have contributed in making sure that this induction becomes a success. I wish you well in your deliberations, commissions, and resolutions of the conference. I have to leave early. My doctor has been complaining that he gave me a leave, but ever since I've been up and running. So I have an appointment in KZN today. I must see him. He has been complaining. How do you manage pressure? How do you manage stress? Come and see me. I said, you must rest for 2 weeks. How then do you rest in a vast sector like this? Because students, they want you here and here. The sector is demanding you and you have to reform. And everyone is going to be surprised when at the right time, we then call a media briefing to tell the nation what is it that we have found in the sector. I suspect some of these statements that are coming day by day, it's because people can feel the presence and they see that we are turning around the sector and we are disturbing their infrastructure. But for the benefit of young people of South Africa, we don't have a choice. We have to turn around NSFAS. The budget that is there, the 48 billion rand, must go directly to the young people of South Africa. I thank you for inviting me to this important event. Thank you.
We can do better than that. Let's remain standing up until those behind College of Cape Town stand. We can still do better than that. Siyabulela. Siyabulela, Minister. I think Minister OSG was just scared. You know, I know the excitement about the increase in NSFAS. It's very much appreciated. So, Nzabaxolisela, but where I come from, in my scholar side, siyabagweba abantu abenza njalo. Kuzafuneka agwetywe simlungise azikwazi ulungisa amatyala akhe. So thank you so much. One last good round of applause, colleagues. Now, I understand that the Minister, DDG, would have to leave us, so would allow, so that we then call for all messages of support. Yes. Siyabulela kakhulu, and thank you. Definitely. Siyabulela, Minister. Thank you so much. Now, the first message of support that we are going to get, colleagues, we are going to get it from Saus. They've sent their message because, unfortunately, they could not make it here today. So I'm just going to read it through while COSASCA and TVET CGC ready themselves for presentations. The message dated 18 July 2025. The South African Union of Students extends its full and militant support to the over 400 TVET student leaders led by the South African Technical and Vocational Education and Training Student Association, who took it to the streets of Bisho in a decisive, peaceful, and principled protest to demand an end to gender-based violence and femicide in TVET colleges and beyond. The program was a declaration by the student movement that enough is enough. Our campuses, which are to be centers of empowerment, transformation, and learning, have been turned into sites of fear and trauma. Even death of many, particularly women, queer students, and those from marginalized community. The student leadership of TVET sector, under the stewardship of Saveza, has demonstrated the fight for safety and dignity is not a side issue. It is a central pillar of the broader struggle for access, success, and justice in education. In a country where femicide statistics are amongst the highest globally, it is deeply significant and commendable that our sister union has chosen to mobilize for life itself. We have not healed from the murder of 3 young women from East Cape Midlands in 2023. We have not healed from the 8 reported gender-based violence cases at Lovedale TVET College in 2024, including 4 rapes including 4 rapes, are not isolated events. These are of a broader culture of impunity, silence, and institutional inaction. The absence of safety, affordability, and regulated student accommodation has left students, especially women, vulnerable to predators and violence in off-campus spaces with little to no protection or oversight. Across multiple campuses, support systems for survivors are either non-existent or deeply inadequate, resulting in re-victimization and a chilling effect on reporting. We commend SAVETA for integrating this protest into the annual National Student Leadership Induction Program, for ensuring continuity through the Women Leadership Conference. At a time when women students face rampant GBV, chronic underrepresentation in leadership, and exclusion from critical decision-making processes or spaces, this conference offers an opportunity for structural change, not only for those in attendance, but for the broader community of students across South Africa. We echo your demand. Let campuses be places of learning, not crime scenes. Let our education be liberating, not traumatizing. Let safety become a lived reality, not a forgotten ideal. Issued by the South African Union of Students, SAUS. That is a message we received from SAUS. We will then request, because I see the colleagues from SACP and TU at CGC just went out, we will then request a presentation that will be made by COSASCA. The reason we said COSASCA must not make messages of support, COSASCA and SAVETA operate in the same space. So the theme that they were given is that they must speak about collaboration and inclusivity in core curricular activities. How do students participate in the spaces that COSASCA participate in? How does COSASCA make sure that SAVETA has a significant role to play, SRCs have a significant role to play in sports, arts, and culture activities? I will now call upon the president of COSASCA, Mr. Obrempo Sula, to come to the stage. Let's give him a good round of applause.
Program Director, I think I'm experiencing the same challenge the minister experienced. That I will be presenting and people might not be seeing me. No, I'm fine. If I allow that to happen, SAVETA will continue saying we are a substructure. So I need to defend the integrity of COSACs. Program Director, first allow me to acknowledge the Honorable Minister, Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane, in her absentia. Equally, I want to also acknowledge the presence of the acting DG, who's also our DDG, Mr. Sam Zungu. I acknowledge the presence of the President and SG of TVS CGC, Mr. Kanyile and Mr. Zondi, respectively. Allow me to acknowledge the principal of the college, the host. I'm not sure between you, principal, and SAVETA, who's hosting. But equally, allow me to acknowledge the collective leadership of Saveta, led here by President Gaugelo Chokwe and the SG, Mr. Ongani. Also, equally acknowledge all senior officials of the department, regional managers who are here, and other senior officials. Program director, it's also important that I acknowledge the presence of NSFAS here that has ensured that there's calm in the country, because no one is fighting and the institutions are stable. I also acknowledge the presence of higher health led here. I saw men to say, I think she's still here. For fear of omitting important people, program director, allow me to equally also stand on the protocol that has already been observed. DDG, before I start my presentation, I think we must take an acknowledgement that what Orbit College has achieved, it's unique and it's something that we equally and collectively need to be proud of. I was having a conversation with Secretary General of Savets that between me and you, we differ a lot when it comes to football. You even plotted the conference that they should wear more yellow than they would wear the black and white of Pirates. But if there's a point of agreement that we must agree is that we must mobilize all students in the sector behind following the team, Orbit TVET College. We can differ as to whether Sundowns, Pirates, or Chiefs, but whenever there's an Orbit game playing, we need to ensure that we support them and we give them the full support that they deserve. My presentation is interesting because it says how best can students be included in COSAXA programs. And I think it's important before I start that we understand the importance of students participating in extracurricular activities. For many times, DDG, extracurricular activities in the sector have been treated as a by-the-way program. And as COSAXA, we are here to champion the fact that these activities and programs are key and central to the development of students and their mental well-being. We've titled this presentation, Mr. Sonti, that the power of inclusivity in COSAXA programs. Somebody would ask to say, who is COSAXA? Somebody might be exposed to COSAXA for the very first time. And I feel that it is important that we explain who we are. COSAXA is College Sports Arts and Culture South Africa, the governing body for all extracurricular activities in the public TVET colleges under the Department of Higher Education. Our mandate is to organize and coordinate student activities in sports, arts and culture, and on-course engagement of students. The reason I'm saying on-course engagement, you would have realized that we have included new activities in our program. The new program that we have included that used to be called Language Festival, we have termed it differently, DDG, which is called Academic Estate-Ford. The term Estate-Ford, I'm informed it's a Welsh, it's from the Welsh background that assists people to compete in more engaging programs. But key and central to this DDG is that on our academic Estate-Ford, we have included what is called Maths Olympiad. The reason we included Maths Olympiad, we are a sector that develops artisans. Now, when you develop artisans and you hear stats that says, Mr. Midire, there's shortage or lack of maths or maths literacy in the country, as COSAGSA, we became concerned to say, how best can we assist the sector to improve in this engagement? Hence, we included that. I'm not going to read line by line to save time. I will just highlight on the important aspects of my presentation. Why extra co-curricular activities are important? I think if we can get that right, we'll understand the importance of COSAGSA. First, we have learned that extra co-curricular activities improve academics of students. Students benefit out of this. We have realized there's more improved concentration, time management, and problem-solving skills. Students who are participating in activities learn to be more engaged or tend to be more engaged in their academics. Development of leadership, teamwork, discipline, and resilience. This is to do with personal growth of our students, in particular in the TVET sector. Yesterday, President Gaugel, we went for a march of GBV. It also tells us that there are a lot of societal challenges that students are experiencing out there. Now, programs of or extra co-curricular activities assist students with stress reduction. Because you cannot have, I always contest that you can't have a person who just come to campus, go to class, go home. It's not a healthy way of doing it. But if students are engaged on extra co-curricular activities, they tend to have leveled or reduced levels of stress, which providing healthy outlets for mental and their emotional well-being. There's also development, skill development. And on skill development, we're talking of nurturing talent. I'm being told that I must move with speed. I'm being intimidated. Why inclusivity matters? Ethical imperative. Every student deserves equal opportunity to participate and benefit. It maximizes student potential. Combating marginalization. Actively working to remove barriers for students from all backgrounds. Because when students enter the sector, we don't want you to always remember or to think you are still exposed to your home background, but we want to level the playing ground and the learning ground for our students. But also what is important is enhance campus cohesion. I'm not sure if we are moving. Oh, I forgot to move. Yeah. Enhance campus cohesion. This assists us in fostering welcoming environment where all students feel valued and connected. I think it gives a sense of belonging when you are participating in extra co-curricular activities. Some of the benefits: impact on sharpening minds and boosting learning. Improved academic performance. There's research that has been done that students who are committed and engaged on extra co-curricular activities tend to perform better. There was an argument to say those who are talented don't pass when we introduced the issue of saying there must be a threshold of subjects that you must pass. For instance, 3 out of 4 subjects, 5 out of 7 subjects. We were told that students who are talented are being disadvantaged. But our mandate is to ensure that we make TVET colleges institutions of first choice. And when we do that, we also need to ensure that we push the mandate of the department to produce skilled students by improving on their academics. Hence, we are pushing for the academic eligibility. Increased problem solving. We are of the strongest view that since students have been engaged on COSAX activities or extra co-curricular activities, there's been low levels of students' unrest in our campuses. Now, this is so important, SG, that SRC members need to understand that it becomes important for them to participate in extra co-curricular activities. We will share this presentation. I'm going to try and move fast because I've been told there is no comfort of time. Some of the benefits deal with social and emotional upliftment of students. We've already indicated that the stronger sense of belonging, improved mental health, enhanced interpersonal skills, increased self-esteem and confidence, reduced social barriers. This is of much interest to me. Extra co-curricular activities must not be a by-the-way process. It needs to be a process whereby we develop soft skill, networking opportunities, exposure to diverse perspectives, entrepreneurial mindset, and civic engagement, because we are also members of society. Our commitment, building an inclusive COSAX, diverse program offering, ensuring a wide range of activities to appeal to varied interests and abilities of students. We are of the view that we need to still include more activities in COSAXA programs, DDG. And as we grow, we'll be able to then attract more students, because our aim is to ensure that as the department aims to grow, we are able to attract students. And we've seen this happening and benefiting universities, whereby prospective students will go to register at certain institution because of how well they are doing in sport activities. And as such, we feel it is important that we also increase on our activities. We want to also advocate to the SRC and say, people who are here sit at college councils. Mr. Kanyile, Mr. Zondi, I think our councils also need to assist us, that when we talk infrastructure of colleges, we are also mindful of the facilities that are accommodative of the programs of extra co-curricular activities. It is a worrisome subject that every time COSAXA has to have events, we have to outsource playing fields, we have to outsource venues. Hence I was saying, Principal, I'm very impressed that this event was hosted at a campus, because it shows the capacity of the campus. It can be a multi-facet venue whereby we can play indoors activities in the hall. But our advocacy is to say, let us also push that the infrastructure of our colleges matches the vision of the sector. There's very few campuses that have even a single playing field for students. And that still becomes a stumbling block in terms of developing students who might want to explore further than their academic activities. We want to also encourage the SRCs at their respective colleges that let us engage public corporate funders or sponsors to assist you in your activities. Ensure that your college or your SRC budgets are not depleted because there's one source, which is the college, because the budgetary will always be limited. I'm looking for the program director. He said my time is out, but he's off now, so I'll continue until he comes. Until he comes back. Call to action for you as SRC members. What we are pleading with you is that we need you to advocate on behalf of COSACs. Saveta, we need you to advocate on behalf of these programs in your strategic meetings at your various colleges to ensure that there's adequate budget that has been provided for COSACs activities. Because sometimes you would hear that students from a particular college are unable to attend either provincial or national events because of budget constraints. And members of SRCs, I think you have influence in terms of doing that. Please let's promote COSACs by actively encouraging diverse student participation in COSACs programs. Help us identify and address any existing barriers to inclusivity on your campus. No student must be left out. All students need to be part of extracurricular activities. Lastly, we request you to demonstrate inclusive behavior in all SRC activities and COSACs activities. Program Director, I think this brings to the end of my session. As I hand over to you.
We can do. Okay. Thank you so much, President. I thought somewhere in the presentation, you were going to talk about the work that COSASCA has done. As much as Orbit is now a separate entity, but anyone who coaches Orbit, when it started, I always pride myself, DDG, and say the coach of Orbit used to be the coach of Northwest soccer team. Ne? He's a COSASCA product. So the foundational basis of Orbit is COSASCA. But that's it. Thank you so much, President. I know DDG also has to rush to another engagement. So if we can just allow her and give him a round of applause as he proceeds. Now, we are going to break this into two. Yeah. We are going to break this into two. Brazeb, please call Mdate Zondi outside. So we're going to break you're going to give your message and then he proceeds with the presentation. So we are now going to call on TVET CGC, council members. And Babu Zondi, there's a council member of PCC there. Please come up with them. Yes. Now, I hope you are ready with TVET CGC's presentation. We're going to call on the president of TVET CGC, or Mr. Kanyile, to come to the stage and speak to you. All of you you know that you are also members of TVET CGC, ne? You do know that? Why? How do you know it? What makes you members? Because you are members of council, ne? Yes. This is your president. You have two presidents. You have President Hello, then you have President Kanyile. So let's give him a good round of applause. He's going to give a message after the Secretary General, Obabu Zondi, will then proceed with the presentation. We're trying to kill two birds with one stone. Let's give them a good round of applause.
Uzoyithola kanjani? Uzoyithola kanjani? Forward with Savetsa, forward. Forward with Savetsa, forward. Forward with Kosaksa, forward. Forward with Kosaksa, forward. Forward with SAPCO, forward. Forward with higher health, forward. Away with gender-based violence and femicide, away. Away with gender-based violence and femicide, away. Thank you very much, colleagues. Greetings to the Honorable Minister, Dr. Nkabane, who was with us for the past few days and had addressed your very important gathering today, who has had to leave. Greetings to the Director General, acting, Mr. Zungu, who is leading the departmental team. Greetings to the host, Chair and Principal of Buffalo City College, who have excellently hosted us here. And greetings as well to the President General, Ms. Chokwe, and the Secretary General as they lead their National Executive Committee in convening this induction workshop. And obviously acknowledging the presence of all the regional managers of the department and all the departmental officials. I'm told that there is a provincial leader of SAPCO amongst us. We extend our warm and fraternal greetings to them. And we're coming to the podium just after the president of COSAXA, Mr. Aubrey. And most importantly, we are privileged to have an opportunity to extend an input and a message to all of you as the student leaders. The SG will, of course, by way of presentation, give some factual information, basically, which is biographical about who we are. But I do not believe that should be the essence of our message in this induction to yourselves, because it should be far-reaching given the context and the purpose that was outlined by the Secretary General of why it is important to have a thoroughgoing process of capacitating our SRCs. We acknowledge you, Mr. Mzuki Simakatsi, who is a council member from the host college, Buffalo City College, which is hosting. You are mostly welcomed. Colleagues and comrades, to understand the platform you occupy, it is important to backcast those who have exposure to future studies, they understand that in order to map a future, you must have an appreciation of the past, of where you come from. So the role of student leadership and student governance to drive and determine the destiny of the institutions was not always a given. The period preceding 1994, you had a segregated education system, not only basic education, but the post-schooling education and training sector was also not democratic insofar as student leadership and governance is concerned. And so your forebears who have come to assume the role and places in the classrooms and the lecture halls fought bitter struggles to ensure that the role of student leadership in the affairs and the governance of the institution is not an act of a favor, but is a central right of students to be able to make a determination about the content, the quality, and the direction that the institutions are able to take. So today, not only the CET Act in the PSET system, but the Higher Education Act cements the strategic and central role of the SRC in governance. So, as governors, how we relate with the SRCs is not a paternalistic relationship. It's not in our homes where we deal with our children, where the relationship is purely paternalistic because we are parents. And SRC is a creature of statute. It's a statutory body that has earned its place in struggle. And it has a role and a responsibility that comes with that positioning of being that statutory body. So the strategic direction that is to be pursued by the TVET system, you have a responsibility to appreciate, internalize, and fulfill. What some would say was a clarion call that was made by Amika Cabral on the Wretched of the Earth when he said, out of relative obscurity, every generation must discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. So you are a generation that is in the TVET system in South Africa. The TVET system has undergone significant changes in the recent years, aiming to address the skills gap and enhance employability amongst the youth. The current maturing model of the TVET focuses on integrating theoretical knowledge and practical skills, aligning with industry needs and promoting partnerships with employers. However, challenges such as inadequate funding, infrastructure deficits, and a lack of qualified educators still persist. This is a reality that afflicts you because before you are student leaders, you are also students. The core business being teaching and learning. The reality that I'm painting is a reality that we have a collective responsibility as governors to ensure that we overcome. So, in your role in council, you must care, one, about the content and the quality of the strategic plans that each and every college produces. You are members of council. You understand what the National Development Plan says. You understand the socio-economic reality of South Africa insofar as high unemployment is concerned, And not just high unemployment, but high youth unemployment. So the program qualification mix that is within the strat plan of the college must seek to speak and address those fundamental questions so that the TVET system cannot produce a phenomenon of what is referred to as unemployed or unemployable graduates. It is our role as the SRCs. 2, SG. In the recent budget speech of the minister, how many of us followed and listened to the minister when she tabled the budget speech in this room? The fact that we happen to be less than 5 is a cause for concern. How do we lead and govern in a sector where we are not even aware how much has been set aside for the current financial year to service the PSET system? 146 billion is the budget that has been set aside for the PSET system. The PSET system is the 26 public universities, 50 public TVET colleges, the 9 community colleges, skill centers, NSFAS. But now let's come closer. How many of you know how much has been set aside for the TVET system for the current financial year? So we have a role in governance to ensure that there is a redress and a far more equitable distribution and allocation of resources to our TVET colleges, so that we can have state-of-the-art infrastructure that can produce the kind of graduate that not only goes and queues in the employment line, but leaves with the requisite skills to be able to create employment opportunities, not only for themselves, but for the rest of young people in the economy of our country, both in the formal and the informal sector. So we have that strategic role and responsibility to ensure that we tackle infrastructure deficit and some of the embedded challenges. Program Director, you'll excuse me, RM, because I'm also embedding what you've tasked us to later deal with, the model, the maturing model of governance. So to build an ideal model for the future, several key building blocks should be considered. 1, I hope you are taking notes. Curriculum relevance. The relevance of the curriculum in our TVET colleges must speak strategically to the needs of the economy as it pertains right now, but it must be geared towards exploring opportunities to the greenfields, the future of the economy. 1, there is a future in the hydrogen space. There is a future in green energies. How many of us are ensuring that our strategic plans for the next 5 years are speaking towards the occupational programs that will speak to the skills in these areas. These are not just future skilled and industries, are industries that have already begun to take shape. Some necessitated by disruptions in guaranteed energy supplies. One, if we didn't have acute load shedding, the rise in solar energy, solar panels as backup alternative energy sources in our homes, even in our TVET colleges, across every aspect of national life, would not have come to the fore to the extent that they have. A number of developments today in this day and age, in terms of office parks and malls, are embedding alternative energy sources. And it requires artisans that can interface with that technology and that value chain. So to what extent are we saying to our respective individual colleges, let us develop as part of our core business, teaching and learning, skills and have workshops that are able to equip and ready us to enter into that space. There is AI, artificial intelligence, that is being embedded in all aspects of the world of work and all industries. How do we ensure that our PQM speaks to that? There's issue of robotics that is now transforming most of the industrial processing. You speak automotive, you speak any form of manufacturing, there is robotics, which will replace what is manual labor. But who should be at the forefront of building the necessary machinations that are going to be deployed in those industries? Who is going to be at the coalface of manufacturing and building the new tools that are required to operate in the future industrial processes? So these are areas that we must have concern about as governance as we play our role in that strategic area. Two, industry collaboration. We cannot have a system of technical vocational education that is not strategically aligned to industries, because there will be a mismatch between the graduate outputs and what the requirements of the industry are. Industry is not only for the placement of our learners, but also our educators within the TVET system. Because if our educators have never left the classroom and are with industry, they are going to be lagging behind in terms of the knowledge and what the trends are. Quality assurance. Now, this is the elephant in the room. We are all in the TVET system, SG. The quality assurer in the TVET system is Umalusi. Umalusi is a quality assurer for basic education. Umalusi is a quality assurer for basic education. Our quality assurance as part of the post-schooling education and training system should be the QT CEO. Because our programs should be at that level. You know, in countries like Switzerland, in terms of offering of occupational programs and their accreditation, they go all the way to doctoral degree in terms of occupational experts. So the PSET system can be developed, and we ensure that we achieve the quality assurance regime that is befitting of the TVET system, we cannot have a TVET system whose quality assurance is still basic education and training. It is a misnomer and something that we are challenging SAVETA to join us in advocating and articulating that there is a regime change insofar as that is concerned. I think we've spoken about funding and resources, that we continue to advocate and argue for more strategic funding to be allocated to the TVET system. But we have not only stopped by complaining about underfunding. As governors to this end, all of you might be aware, because in all TVET colleges, the TVET CGC has mobilized partnerships to a point that in every single TVET college, we have built at least one state-of-the-art smart classroom, what is commonly referred to as an ICT hub, outside of the fiscus and outside of the allocation that has been done to individual colleges. I want to be sure that all of you, at least as student leaders, have seen that hub. It has a plaque outside, donated by TVET CGC and FACET. We are advocating for more partners. Even the National Skills Fund, which is the entity of the Department of Higher Education and Training, to expand such a rollout of those resources to our TVET colleges so that we can have more. Because what we've done in terms of at least one smart classroom is scratching the tip of the iceberg. We have more than 200 campuses. So having 50 or 60 smart classrooms is nothing. So we should continue to intensify our efforts on that front. I believe that also the president of COSAXA has spoken about inclusivity and accessibility. We would want to promote inclusivity by ensuring that TVET programs are accessible to all, including marginalized communities, and provide support services to assist students in their education journey. When the DG acting was introducing the minister, he spoke about lifelong learning. That we must encourage a culture of lifelong learning by offering flexible learning pathways and opportunities for upskilling and reskilling throughout the individual career of learners. In summary, RM, a maturing TVET governance model is characterized by stakeholder collaboration, 1, 2, a strong policy framework, 3, quality assurance, 4, sustainable funding, 5, data-driven decision-making, 6, flexibility and a commitment, as I said, to lifelong learning. As I sit down, colleagues, in the TVET system, you have 2 creatures of statute in terms of the CET Act. You have the SRC, you have a college council. And within a college council, you have SRC as a constituent component. Then you have management as another constituent component. Then you have staff, both academic and non-academic. And part of our vision and our engagement with yourselves as SRCs through your association, SAVETA, is that 1, there should not be a single public TVET college that is not subscribed to SAVETA. One, all TVET colleges and all SRCs ought to be subscribed to SAVETA. Because SAVETA at a national level is the umbrella body representing yourselves in the public policy discourse and public policy space, and ensuring that the issues that we have raised as systematic issues of funding, challenges, curriculum, quality assurance are achieved. To this end, we are committed to a vision, SG, which we must share with yourselves, where as the Governor's Council, RM, if we're to have enough money to build a TVET house, an office park where we can host the TVET CGC, you can host SAVETA, you can host COSAXA, and you can host the principals organization all under one roof and have a one-stop shop. So that the strategic challenges that confront the sector can be collectively pursued, so that we fully unlock the potential of the sector. But secondly, so that we harness our collective efforts towards one common strategic direction. And we can only achieve this once all the components in the sector understand and appreciate that we are all